Next are climbing birds. Now, first we should be very clear what are climbing birds. So, climbing birds are the birds that can climb bark of a tree up and down very easily. These birds have toes that help them to hold on to trees and to climb up and down. So, for climbing the bark of a tree up and down, they have two toes pointing upwards and two toes pointing downwards. And some common examples of climbing birds are woodpecker, parakeets, these are type of parrots, nuthatches, etc. These birds are known as climbing birds because they can very easily climb up the bark of a tree. Look at the feet of climbing bird. You can observe that two toes are pointing upwards and two are pointing downwards, and just observe their claws also, that they are having sharp and pointed claws. And this is an identifying feature of climbing birds. If you just look at their feet and you find the feet of any bird having two toes pointing upwards and downward and two pointing downwards, and you can easily guess that this is a climbing bird which can easily climb up the bark of a tree. Next we will talk about the feet and claws of scratching birds. So first you should be clear with the definition of scratching birds. Children, scratching birds are the birds who scratch the ground to find insects and seeds. Or you can say the birds using one foot or both feet simultaneously to remove or loosen the ground to look or search for seeds, insects or other food. So such type of birds are called scratching birds. So depending on their feeding habits, their feet are also like that. So these birds are also known as ground feeding birds. For example, pheasants, chicken, hen, quail, peacock, etc. They are scratching birds. Now let's see which type of feet they have. They also have feet having three toes in the front and one at the back, and their toes have sharp and hard claws. Now look at the feet of scratching bird. You can see that three toes are pointing in the front and one at the back. The toe at the back is somewhat smaller than the front toes, and just look at their claws. You can observe that their claws are very sharp, horny, short and very sturdy, very strong. These type of claws are meant for digging or scratching the earth or ground to find their food. Now in this picture you can see all the three types of feet we have talked about, and you can easily observe the difference between them. In the feet of perching birds, you can see that they are very flexible and very pointed and slender claws. On the other hand, feet of climbing bird having 2 toes pointing upwards and 2 downwards, and sharp and pointed claws. And scratching birds having 3 toes in the front and 1 at the back. The back toe is somewhat shorter than the front 3 toes and having very short and sturdy claws. So hope you are clear with the feet structure and claw structure of these 3 type of birds: perching birds, climbing birds and scratching birds. So this is all for today's EVS session, children. In our next session we will discuss about the other 3 types of birds, claws and feet structure.